Welcome. If you'd like to support this podcast, there's a few ways to do it. One would be you could rate the podcast on whatever program you get it, preferably a 5-star, please. We'd appreciate it. Give it to us for Christmas, eh? Wink, wink. You could also comment on the same platform, like iTunes, Stitcher, whatever. Give us a good review if you like the podcast. You could tell your friends, get together, all have something you listen to each week, talk about, converse, so on and so forth. Another way, financially, would be if you want outdoor gear. Madeira Outdoor is an amazing website, and we have a link that will direct you there, and it would help us out. They got amazing stuff. I'm going to talk about their pillow again. Their pillow is great. It's inflatable. It fits to your neck. You will never want another pillow in your life. Enough said. And without further ado, on to the episode. Good?
Yeah. I can't hear it now.
Oh.
I don't know how to make that happen.
Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Yeah, yeah. What was that for?
Knocking on his door.
Oh.
I was knocking.
Welcome to the podcast and Merry Christmas. As you will probably be listening to, well, if you listen to it as it comes out, it'll be the day before Christmas.
Christmas is tomorrow.
For them, if they're listening to it on that specific day,
Oh, yeah.
which is one out of many. To us,
Literally one.
To us, it's 2 days away, right?
Yeah.
Sunday.
Sunday, and it's
So
on
it's on Tuesday,
It's
okay.
the 23rd. December 23rd.
What?
It's December 23rd.
Christmas isn't.
Today.
Today is. What are you saying?
Today is December 23rd.
No, it isn't.
All right.
Is it? It's not. What? Oh, so it's on the 25th. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was wildly confused for a second. I didn't know if you were trying to, do the thing where you're saying what date it is based on when they're listening to it, or based on when we're... All right. I'm on the same page.
Not even based on it. It was just the actual today.
Right. Well, we figured that being so close to Christmas that we're going to keep this on that theme. Just talk about Christmas in general. Kind of our experience with it. Maybe that lines up with some of your guys' traditions or not. And you can just hear, how we did things.
Yeah.
Because honestly, right now, we're going through a transition of traditions.
Very.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You live with your father.
Yep.
I live with our mom. And our mom and I and our younger sister, we're all in the middle of a move. So we're transitioning right now, which is
Literally.
Yeah.
First night was 3 days before Christmas.
Yeah, we spent our first night, not last night, but the night before there. And so it looks like the typical apartment move where you got boxes, but the bedrooms that everybody's in are getting organized, and then you'll kind of
Slowly work your way.
Yeah, work your way out from there, which we probably would have liked to record this podcast a little earlier, but honestly, I woke up at 5 o'clock, super awake, and then took a shower, and then got really tired,
Really?
and then fell back asleep.
Yeah. That definitely happens.
Yeah. I heard it's something to do with your body temperature. And
Really?
Yeah. I won't try to butcher the actual science, but it has something to do with the rise and fall of your body temperature making you tired or not. That's why
Yeah.
if you can't sleep, they suggest taking a hot bath before bed.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
They also say this has nothing to do with sleep, but if you wake up with a higher heart rate,
Yep.
you shouldn't work out.
I've heard
I think,
that on
yeah.
Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
David Goggins, I think.
Yeah, David Goggins is dope.
Yeah, he gets after it.
Mm-hmm. That he does. But going back on tradition, growing up, it was always it was the same every year, and we spent mostly every Christmas together, even though you live.
Yeah.
You live.
I
with
mean,
your
I
dad.
would wake up at my dad's,
Yo,
and then around a certain time, I'd go over see you guys.
yo, and most of the time, we call our grandmother Nanny, Nanni is how she likes it spelled.
Nanny.
Yeah. Which is pretty cool because I mean she's got a theme going on. She's responsible for like 7 children, and all of their names end in I, when it would be like
Oh,
a Y.
shoot. I didn't know that.
You didn't realize that?
I didn't realize that. Yeah.
No.
All our aunts.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we'll refrain from saying their name for their
Yeah.
privacy, but yeah, they all end in I, which is pretty funny. And her,
Wow.
yeah.
Yep.
Just a small little quirk. But we grew up going to her house every year. And so, like, you would wake up at your dad's, I would wake up at our mom's, and then we would all meet at Nanny's basically at the same time.
Having our own little Christmas in the morning.
Yep, exactly. And as far as mom's went, you got to open all of your stocking stuff before everybody woke up.
Nice.
And that was her way of just like, I don't want to wake up yet. I've been up all night rapping because she's a notorious procrastinator. And you guys can just open this set of stuff and have fun with it. Well, I like sleep in a little bit because Christmas Day is always lazy. Pajamas. Nobody gets out of pajamas.
Well, dude, we're just the kids. You imagine how different it is for like the adult.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been stressed out all this time, and then all of a sudden you get one day.
Just one.
Yeah, one day.
Watch it all unravel.
Yeah. Just relax. I understand why she made us take our time so much. Like, opening presents was one at a time. She had equal numbers for every kid.
Yeah.
You went in a circle. Everybody watched each other open open the present.
We had like the Santa passing the gifts.
Yeah. We had always a real tree when we were at my mom's house or our mom's house, but our nanny always had a fake tree. And her fake tree had a theme each year with the ornaments. Yeah. Which that's such a pain.
A silver or gold.
Yeah,
like
it was
all gold.
Yep, it was either silver or gold, and it would usually rotate each year, and all the ornaments on it had to match. Yeah, silver or gold.
Silver and gold. Yeah. It was a cool theme. I liked it.
I liked
the
it.
tree was silver or gold as well.
Yep. No.
It's silver.
She may have had. Yeah, I am remembering now. She used to have a white. I think it was like a white silver. Yeah, tree. Now she just has this generic 70s plastic bendy put together tree.
I've seen some of the modern ones lately.
Oh yeah.
They have like wicked cool branches.
Well,
detailed.
Not Brendan Schaub. Brian Callen. Yeah. He just talked about how his wife was like, "Oh, I want a fake tree," and then he's like, "Oh, okay, let's go get one." $700 at Home Depot for like an 8-foot tall plastic fake tree.
$700
for a tree.
We live in the most like wood-filled area.
Right.
I'm not spending $700.
No, and that's I don't like the idea of. I mean, a fake tree for me would be one that you like put on the porch and lit.
Oh yeah.
Remember how we were talking about how I like that? Yeah. I really like seeing like porches decorated or lawns decorated. It's basically, you don't compete with everybody, and we don't decorate ourselves honestly, but everybody goes and drives around and checks out the best lights, who's got the coolest things.
Yeah, certain neighborhoods, like I find it so cool. You can see how neighbors like coincide,
right?
Or, like they're trying to build it together. So like this huge neighborhood, bunch of lights connecting.
Yeah. We were talking about how ridiculous some of the decorations are. Like, for instance, there is one that is it's like a snow globe, like a big inflatable snow globe, but inside of it is Santa on a helicopter. Santa on a helicopter. Yep, that's how he does it.
That's how he does it. Yeah.
No reindeer needed. He's hit the 20th century, 21st century.
That'll happen.
My favorite Christmas colors or Christmas lights are the blue ones, those bright blue ones. Although I will say, I hung out at my friend's house like a week ago, and I hung out until like 11 o'clock at night. And when I was walking back, you know the Moose Club?
Yeah.
Near the library.
Mm-hmm.
I was walking by there.
That's where my prom was.
Yeah, ours
weird?
Too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't go, but there's blue lights there, and these blue lights were messing with my eyeballs.
Whoa.
It was like making, you know when your eyes are like watery and all the lights have that like weird shimmer to them because it's being like reflected
you kind of
off.
you kind of see it like a gradient.
Yeah. It was like that, and it actually like physically hurt my eyes. No, I guess it didn't hurt. It was uncomfortable to look at these lights, and I couldn't figure out if it was my own eyesight. I was like, dude, I'm not even old yet. I don't want glasses.
Yeah, you're like blinking.
Yeah, I am. I'm blinking. I'm rubbing my eyes, and then I'm like looking at things equal distance away that aren't lit up, and I'm like, no, those are perfectly in focus. Like I can see that fairly well.
Yeah.
And then I look back at the lights, and it's still doing it, and I couldn't figure it out. And I don't know if it has something to do with like maybe they were LED and they're blinking on and off at such a fast
Super
rate
quick.
that I can't really see it, but my eyes are picking up something very uncomfortable about it. But yeah, it was just really weird.
Yeah.
Definitely caught my attention.
I don't like it when like you're driving really quick and the lights are on like a tree, so you can't see it. You can't see it. You can because the branches.
Oh,
so, like,
it's like flashing.
it kind of looks like like cop car.
Oh, the
Not
blue
so
ones,
extreme, but
right?
yeah.
Yeah, we don't really have like a traditional movie that we watch really, I guess, but we watched The Grinch growing up a lot. Elf.
I watched A Christmas Story.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
That was your tradition?
Yep.
I've honestly never seen it all the way through.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
I haven't seen it this year.
Home Alone.
We're at the age where traditions kind of end. They transition.
Which is what we said earlier. It's
Right.
definitely a transition of tradition. Now we kind of make our own.
Say that 10 times fast.
No. But I will say one thing about The Grinch is that I used to love that movie, and before I watched it again as an adult, I told myself like, oh man, that's gonna be my tradition, watch The Grinch every year. And then I went and I watched The Grinch, and I got so sad. And it's definitely because of like growing up and seeing things as more serious, or maybe it's like character development and being like empathetic towards like who the characters would be if they were real. But the Grinch is a sad, sad, sad man, and of course it gets better at the end, but only in the last like 20 minutes. And it was just I didn't like watching that, man. I know what it's like to be like super lonely, and that didn't look fun what he's up to. So yeah,
you don't get that as a kid.
No, not as a kid at all. Yeah, you're just like, oh, this looks great.
That's a great movie. Colors.
Yeah, great movie. Yeah, colors. Look at it all. Their funny noses.
Yeah.
But I will say that Elf is a great movie even to this day.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that it probably has something to do with like, because that's pretty sad of a movie, you know?
Yeah.
Not really though, because of how Will Ferrell acts and like because of who his character is.
Yeah, you kind of don't see the sadness.
Yeah, because he doesn't know it.
Right.
Yeah, he doesn't even know. Like, he's just having a grand old time. He's like, look at me in this mailroom. Oh, maple syrup when it's really whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a funny character. Will Ferrell, dude.
Will Ferrell's great.
Yeah. Him and Jim Carrey growing up were my favorite actors.
Were they?
Yeah.
Yep.
Just the movies they played.
Yeah, I'd say that Will Ferrell was definitely one of them. I'd say that because he was in like Kicking and Screaming.
Yeah.
When Chandler used to watch that every night.
Yeah.
He was in Step Brothers,
which him and what's his face?
I don't know the other guy's name, but he's in.
It's Riley. Something.
Is it
something? Yeah, because I just watched a YouTube about. They just talked about their new movie they made.
Oh, okay. And it's funny.
Sherlock Holmes.
Is that what it's called?
Or they're playing Sherlock and his. I'm blanking right now, but yeah.
But the second guy.
Will Ferrell, yeah.
Nice. That sounds awesome. I definitely want to go check that out. Oh, that Mortal Engines movie? I think it's playing in Montpelier.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, I really want to go see that.
I've seen a lot of good trailers.
Yeah, it seems like maybe the movies are going to get better again, hopefully.
True. Yeah.
Because personally, I thought we went through a great deal of time without any good movies.
I know, you can tell the difference from like 10, 15 years ago movies to the ones in between them and now.
Right. Yeah. I think it's just the fact that it's just watered down. There's just a mass amount more than there used to be.
I honestly think that's with everything.
Yeah. It's true.
You have more to like.
Yeah, you do. It's definitely like it's bittersweet in the sense that I think about us as a podcast, and we want to get to the point of like hundreds of thousands of listeners if possible.
Yeah.
And that's definitely achievable. And If you want to do anything and you think that you missed like the prime time, start now, because maybe
you create the prime time.
I was gonna say maybe you've missed like a period of time where it was really easy to do something. Like for instance, what comes to my mind is Joe Rogan talked about. He was a comedian during the era where Disney would give out development deals. A development deal is literally, here is hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Develop yourself.
Yeah, keep doing comedy.
Yeah.
And so he was just rolling in it early, and they pretty soon after that stopped doing those types of things.
Yeah.
Just because they weren't getting their return, you know.
Right. Oh, true.
And podcasting definitely didn't have that era, but I feel like right now, like Toyota, top companies like are releasing podcasts and stuff. And as a small town little hippie redneck, I feel like our perspective of podcast, it will be appealing to a mass amount of people once the word gets there.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's super unique.
Yeah, it is. And we're out to experience the world, and it's not like we've never traveled, because we definitely have, but we haven't traveled with our current mindset of adventure, podcast, content, bring it to the people, let them know what's out there. And we're going to stay local just out of necessity, because we have jobs right now, like Maine, New England, or New York, New Hampshire, Massachusetts.
That's a lot of land.
We got the White Mountains, we got the Maine coast, we got the Long Trail, the Appalachian Trail, the Adirondacks in upstate New York. I mean, we still haven't seen
limitless.
Yeah, we haven't seen Mount Mansfield without cloud.
True.
Still want to do that.
Like maybe after 10 in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was like 9.
It was definitely sooner.
We left at 9, and it only took us like an hour to get up there. I wonder like how Christmas is done in like New Mexico, in like a desert environment.
Like no white.
Yeah, no white at all.
People dwell, dude. People are sad right now because it rained.
Oh,
and there's just less snow
in New England.
Yeah.
People are super sad right now.
But like, so them out there, they don't even care. They don't care.
I don't think they care. I remember I spent one Christmas in Florida. Went down with my dad. We actually drove down. It took us like, I don't know how many days. It felt like a long time.
I think it's like 4.
Yeah, that's what I would have said, but I didn't know. And then I remember we opened a present on the way over the last bridge into Florida. And
that's cool.
Yeah, I remember what I got. I got this like, it was like a stuffed animal with like bendy arms. It was like this big monkey.
Yeah.
It was cool. But my real like cool present came when I got down there and we actually like sat down and opened stuff. I got a BB gun. Yeah. And then I couldn't bring it back.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So I experienced the BB gun for a week.
That sucks.
Yeah, I did. And then I flew back on my own, sitting next to this old woman.
Oh.
I was like 11.
I've never done that.
No.
Damn.
Flying back on my own. I didn't even feel weird about it either. I was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I bet like situations like that, you not knowing at the time, but you definitely like grow up.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, you know what your destination is. You know what you need to do to get there.
And
you do it.
From my perspective, even I had heard. I'm gonna explain like after what really happened, but from my perspective, I was on my own. I was my own human being. This woman just happened to buy a seat, like a ticket next to me, you know?
Yeah.
So I was just like my own person, right? Like looking out the window, oh, how are you doing? But in reality, the people knew that I was flying alone. So they asked this nice old woman if she would sit with me, kind of like watching me.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's sweet, though.
It is pretty sweet, yeah.
It's kind of like there are people out there, like, looking out.
Yeah,
They're
really nice.
out,
Like
yeah.
she was she was ready to pounce on somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually being down in Florida during Christmas time, people decorate the palm trees. Fireworks are a huge thing.
Really?
Yeah, huge for Christmas. Like, yeah, we had these fireworks that it was the first time I had seen them. They like spin really, really, really fast on the ground, and then once they build up enough momentum, they fly into the air like 30 feet up. They don't explode or anything. They just make really cool colors.
That's funny because fireworks in Vermont, you can't see what they're doing on the ground because there's just too much like grass. You know?
Right.
I can't even close my eyes and imagine that.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot more paved in Florida, and I mean, definitely not dirt roads like us.
Florida confuses me because I have so many people telling me about it, but it's all different. Is it like?
Oh, Florida is this big melting pot of just crazy.
But is it? It snows. It rains.
In northern Florida, maybe.
Okay, that's the part that confused me. Yeah.
No, I don't think it snows. I mean, it may snow every once in a while, but like you gotta think.
I see videos from my grandparents sometimes.
Florida's south of Georgia.
Yeah.
And.
Yeah, you're right.
It's like touching the equator almost. It's definitely down there.
Yeah, and they definitely have wild weather.
Wild weather, yeah, dude. Hurricanes, no thank you. No thank you.
Yeah. We had an earthquake in Massachusetts.
Recently?
Yeah.
What magnitude?
2.
Oh.
2.0.
That's low.
2.2. But, I mean, I never thought they were possible.
Right.
Over here.
Right. That reminds me of when I was younger, there was a tornado warning.
Wow.
For our county.
How?
It was the craziest storm I'd ever seen as a kid. It's seriously like storybook storm where, and mind you, my memory of this is probably skewed, so it's not like 100% accurate, but there was a tornado warning on the news. Our power went out. Then I'm freaking out. I open up the door, and it was just like it was like the scene in Wizard of Oz when she looks out the window and her house is in the sky already, and there's like the witch flying by on her. It was like that. There was like trees flying around, like tumbleweeds. I remember seeing trees like bent over at their sides, and in my mind's eye at the time, I could like imagine where the tornado was gonna start. It was gonna start over in Websterville and like come over to Graniteville, and it was just me and Journey and Drea, and I was like, get to the bathtub. Yeah. I was like the basement or bathtub, and Journey didn't even pay it any mind. She was like following me around, like, what are you doing? And I'm like, there's a tornado. It never even touched down, but
yeah,
it was just scary. It was a wicked windy storm, though.
Definitely. I remember floods and stuff.
Yeah.
Growing up, like, crazy.
Barry floods like once every 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever we would get to our nanny's house when we were younger, there would always be like a platter of food, and that platter of food always had the same stuff.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have sweetbreads, mainly a pumpkin bread is what I remember.
Yeah.
And a cranberry bread.
Definitely cranberry.
Cranberry.
All the time.
All the time. Sliced oranges. Like.
Yep. 12 years straight, dude. Picture that.
Right? And then what else? Like the mixed nuts type that you crack, like with the thing.
Yeah, a bunch of those.
Yeah.
Cashews.
Yep. That was the activity that you did when you were like super bored. You just
like stand by the window.
Yeah, exactly.
You have no idea how many times I look. Like I'll just be looking over, being alone, and you're just out the window with your small plate, eating.
Yep.
Cracking them.
And then when it came to the meal actually varied. Sometimes it was like a pot roast.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was ham.
We've had turkey.
I was about to say that. Yeah, we've had turkey before.
I don't think Christmas has like a designated.
No, I don't think it does. Yeah. Not like Thanksgiving, at least.
Right.
I think ham is popular. Roast is really popular. Roast reminds me of like comfort in home. Like a roast is like comfort food for me because I grew up at the trailer with Big Eddie and Mom, and it was very much like garden outside with the onions and the potatoes and like deer meat, venison and it was mashed potatoes, venison, and Italian dressing.
Yep. You crock pot? Did they
I don't know. It wasn't crock pot at that time. It was definitely like oven bags. That's such a weird concept for me. But
I know.
Yeah, you put all your food in this plastic bag and then put it in the oven.
Yeah. That's how people cook turkeys too, like big turkey bags.
I've never seen that, but yeah. Probably helps it stay like more moist.
True, just like the chicken.
Yeah, just like how you cook that chicken. Ooh.
Mm.
You know what I hated about Christmas? And it wasn't even anything big. I'm not like a Grinch about this, but potpourri.
Ugh.
I hate the smell of potpourri. It is so gross.
Is that the stuff in the basket?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yup.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. Oh.
I know it would. The way I picture it, like if you could see smell, I picture just like a string of it across the room.
Oh yeah,
it's just like
it's powerful.
Yeah.
It is not. I don't find it a pleasant smell. And I mean, one time I smelled it up close, and it had like hints. It seemed to me what they did is they soaked whatever's in that basket. They soaked in some sort of like oils.
Yeah.
And then they had the oils like dry out or something. And I don't know what it is about all those oils that they mix together, but it does not smell good. There's like a cinnamon smell in there that if it just all smelled like cinnamon, like big red gum,
yeah,
I'd be happy with that.
Yeah.
I'd be perfectly fine with that. But it doesn't smell like that. It smells so bad.
Not good.
Not good.
They have some good stuff.
Oh,
like, of the same sense.
I would. Yeah, I think potpourri is a general term.
Yeah.
And then they probably have like just different scents, of course.
Mm-hmm. Just like anything.
Yeah, just like candles, like Yankee candles or such.
Which I have a wicked cool candle right now.
The one that you told me.
Yeah,
that's awesome. It smells like a pine forest.
Yeah.
Which is pretty great. I burn San Paulo wood, which is like a hippy dippy. You get it at like apothecaries. And it's supposedly like blessed every day for a year.
Really?
It's like buried and blessed, which I just think it smells good. But
yeah, what does it do when does it just char?
Char?
Like it doesn't set on fire.
No, it sets on fire and then you blow it out and then it's embered, like it has an ember on it, and then that ember smokes.
Oh yeah.
But it would set on fire, like if you like let it.
If you threw it in a fire.
It would be a fire.
But would it smell wicked?
Yeah, it would smell wicked good.
Sweet.
Yeah, because it doesn't take very much to make like a rum smell
when
good.
you do it, like when we're around.
Yep.
It's just a quick.
Yeah, super quick. Not that big of a flame, just kind of heat it up. And if it already is like darkened and charred, it just takes the heat to kind of like reignite it. You don't have to light it up again. I remember for Christmas, we always got PJs the night before. That was our Christmas Eve present.
You guys, I had to wait to get there the next morning.
Oh, and then always put them on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that. You'd always have to go in the bathroom and
misfit,
change your PJs. But it was always like a matching set, and I still have.
Great, yeah.
I still have to this day most of those PJ bottoms.
Mm-hmm. She definitely she does it right with the traditional presents, like a blanket.
Yep, fleece blanket.
Yeah,
definitely.
And I have a bunch of them still.
Right.
So nice.
And it was great because we'd open those ones first, and then wrap up in them.
Yep.
And then I would always seek out the gift that was for me that was shaped like the Guinness World Record book.
Heck
and
yeah.
you too.
Me and you too, yeah.
Yep. And then we'd always open that like in the beginning. And then
we had like
everybody
7, dude.
Yeah.
We're the last 7 years of records.
Yep. And I still got them at home.
Yeah. I have I still have 5.
I saw yours, out there when I was out there last night. Yeah, that was great. Man, I remember so many records, and then when they got to the actual size in the books and you could look at like this beetle is the size of your hand.
Yeah.
Like,
man, that's all my memory. Like, I didn't watch people open presents.
No,
we were scrolling through that.
Yeah, you learned that from me. I was like, this is boring. I don't want to see Polly Pockets getting opened again. I want to look at these records, like the tallest building in the world, or the biggest the biggest cake ever made, or the most expensive watch, or
crazy stuff. The new species,
Yeah. There was always like an animal section, a space section, a wealth section, architecture section, a sports section, which I could always skip right over, and then like an automobile section.
Yep.
Yeah, those books are great.
And the covers.
That was the thing too, because I never knew what the covers looked like.
Oh yeah.
So whenever I opened that at Nanny's house, it was like mind blown.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't think I've seen that book anywhere else besides like the ones I have from her.
I've seen them in libraries
Really?
Berrytown used to have them. That's actually where I wanted them from, was going to Berrytown. And they had, like, actually, I remember seeing them at Berrytown, and then the first one that I think I ever got, I was with my friend Nick and his family, and we just stopped at a yard sale, and in the free pile was like from the 2000s when they just started to look kind of cool. And it was a purple book. I remember it. I bet you, like, my memory is pretty accurate. I think it was the 2000s Guinness World Record book, and I mean, I don't really remember anything specific from the book itself. I just remember being, like, awestruck. Like, there's this giant book with all these cool facts, and I was fact heavy as a kid. I still am a little bit, but I was like, I wanted all the facts. Damn. I wanted books about random stuff. I wanted the Guinness World Record books. I wanted Ripley's Believe It or Not, all of that.
I wanted to run when I saw a book.
You did?
That's how, yeah. I definitely was not the type of kid to want.
No, I definitely.
I read, I remember the 2 books I read in my childhood.
Yeah, I think about it, and I liked facts and I liked little tidbits, but I don't, until I got a little bit older, like early high school, I didn't like storybooks.
True, yeah. Like, basically things that apply, kind of, to just life.
No, I didn't even know, like, storybooks, like a narrative.
You didn't like that, but
no.
You like things that, like...
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I guess you're right, yeah. I was definitely, like, much more of the, this is, like, real. This actually happened. Mm-hmm. Like, this woman actually threw 4 refrigerators 10 feet in 30 seconds. Like,
yep.
But...
that's wicked.
Yeah, and then there's a show about Guinness World Record books. That's where I actually took that from.
Oh, really?
And I probably didn't get the stats right, but it was just funny to say in that moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, this chick literally throwing refrigerators. Yeah, roids are a hell of a thing.
I think it's great that we promote that. Like, as humans, we just promote that people can do that.
Oh, the strongman stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, strongman is crazy. The things that people can do. I used to want to be like not a strong man, but I wanted to be able to throw a keg.
Whoa, yeah, that's a big deal.
Keg. That is a big deal, right?
Yeah, I can't even lift it. Yeah, I can.
When I was younger, you probably will remember this story, but this is me at my dumbest and strongest, all in the same story.
Nice.
Yeah. We were having a fire up at Chandler's Land with his dad, and the truck was parked a little bit down the hill, and so it was like 200, 300 yards from the fire that they were having up on the hill where they couldn't see the truck. And then Sky's dad asked me, he was like, hey, would you go get that red gas can from the truck? I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll go grab that. And I'm young. I'm literally like 12 or 13 years old here.
Damn.
Super young. I don't know exactly how old I was. I'd really like to figure that out because this story is going to seem incredibly impractical, but 100% happened. I get to the truck. I look in the back of it, and right from like when I crest the corner and I see the truck, I can see the red gas barrel. It's a barrel of oil, like a 55-gallon barrel of mixed gas and oil in the back of a pickup truck on a hill. And my dumbass mind is like, okay, like, I'm just over here on my own, like, this is what they want me to bring them? This thing is bigger than I am, like, in the literal sense. And it had to be half to 3/4 full. I'm not going to lie and say it was definitely full, but it wasn't empty. This thing had at least half. And
like, you're rolling it.
No, I couldn't roll it.
Well, not like on a complete side. Not,
dude.
Oh, is it?
It was. I had to. I wrestled with this thing. It almost crushed me twice. Trying to get it out of the back of this truck was such a pain.
Oh, fuck.
Took me over an hour to get it to where I got it. And eventually, his dad and somebody else.
Where is he?
Yeah, where is he? And they crest the corner and immediately laugh They're laughing, and I'm just like utterly embarrassed. Not at the sense that I don't know that I've messed up yet,
Right.
but just that I'm like, oh, they really believe that I could like bring this over. They're laughing that I can't. Like, oh man, it's taking you that long to get it this far. Come on. No, the red gas can was a half-gallon gasoline can. One of those ones that you just pour into like a lawnmower.
2 feet to the right.
Yes, it was, exactly. So for the whole, and it was right in the back of the truck. So for the whole hour plus that I'm struggling, wrestling, rolling this thing up the hill, trying to pull it and push it. And regardless, the reason why I know it was so heavy is that it took both of them, grown-ass adults, another hour to get it back in the truck.
Wow.
Yeah. That thing was not supposed to leave the truck. This giant 55-gallon drum, half to 3/4 filled with oil.
That's 100+ pounds.
It was gnarly. It was definitely like, I almost got crushed by it, like I said, because
twice.
Yeah, the truck was pointed downhill, like the back of the truck.
Oh.
So when I tried to roll it out of the back,
it's coming.
Yes. Almost down off of the tail onto me on the ground. And that's where I, like, all of my strength, all of my, like, whatever I had in me.
Your eyes are closed.
Ah, don't crush me. But yeah, that was definitely my dumbest and strongest all in the same.
Yeah. That's funny. Making noises definitely helps, I think, pursue your strength.
I think so, definitely.
Get your strength.
Kickball. Used to yell in kickball.
Yeah.
Launch it.
I grunt. I go like,
oh, yeah. Like a sumo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Can you think of anything else as far as Christmas? As far as just our Christmases go? Because there's a couple other things I want to talk about, but if...
No. I mean, other than this year's going to be way different, man.
Yeah, I don't honestly know what this year has to hold.
I don't dwell on it, though.
I don't either.
I definitely love change.
Yeah.
Love it.
And if it feels appropriate at this time in our life.
Yeah. It's literally...
We're quote-unquote getting our shit together.
Yeah. I'm at the age where I want new things, like new tradition.
Right.
Which is exactly what's happening.
Right. And this podcast, I mean, we're so early in it.
Yeah.
We're less than 6
Episode
episodes.
5, yeah.
Yeah. So, as far as, like... Yeah, just building it, bro. Oh, yeah, you mentioned, I think we should bring this up because I kind of want to give the listeners an idea of where we hope to head, where we will head, and that is next year, we're going to release like a Christmas special, you know?
Yeah.
We don't know how long it'll be, but it'll be Christmas themed. It will be like a merry good old time.
Yeah.
Sledding involved in the video, you know? We're going to shoot
I'll be
a lot
21
of footage
plus.
for it. Nice.
It's just a...
Yep. Nice little
milestone.
Yep. I mean, a year from now, where do I honestly see the podcast a year from now? I see us having a segment on WCAX already.
Yeah.
I see that boosting our listenership.
That'd be like a 30-second thing, right? Once it airs.
It would be it's called a segment, and it would be on Made in America.
Yeah.
Or Made in Vermont. They have a segment. So it would be like a 10-minute on the news.
Wow.
Yeah. Or on Sunday. Or we could do on Across the Fence. Any of these outlets.
There's a bunch. Yeah.
Bunch of outlets.
Yeah.
I see us having 10+ guests already, like in 2019.
We have a couple.
Yeah, we have a couple
lined up, but expecting to be.
That is lined up.
I guess you're right. Yeah.
I see us having... Well, a year from now it would be 52. So
episodes.
I see us having 50+ episodes, releasing one a week.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not quite sure where I see our adventures and how far-reaching they are, just because a year from now isn't that much time. So I don't see our situation living-wise being so different, but I see us being able to chunk time better. And ask for time off.
At the same time, too, though, it could just be a drastic change.
It could be drastic. It could be super huge. Like, who knows, really? I think that was I see us being, I mean, personally, I don't want to live outside of Vermont. I want to have property outside of Vermont, but I always want my, like, residence to be here.
The base.
Yeah, the base.
I definitely like being able to say that I was born and raised in
Born
Vermont.
and raised in Vermont. Yeah, we're definitely Vermonters. Modern ones at that, but still Vermonters.
Yeah. It's funny. Some slang in New England.
Yep.
I don't know where I came this week. I just found out that we have like a different slang, like not massholes.
Yeah.
We call Massachusetts people massholes.
Yep.
That is worldwide known.
Oh, it is?
We do that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
That is pretty cool. Yeah, massholes. They just don't drive like us.
No, they don't.
They drive way more aggressively.
Well, yeah, and they have 4 lanes like all the time.
Yeah, I definitely understand where they're coming from.
Right.
But as far as Vermont, we're too friendly. Like, people will, yeah, you'll be at a stalemate at a 4-way with somebody trying to, like, let them go.
Yeah. Yeah, literally, I do that.
I wonder if their driving style transfers over to how they treat people, like holding a door for somebody, or
Yeah.
And I don't have an answer to that. I just wonder if that's
Yeah, I don't have a lot of experience.
right, if that's like transferable.
Maybe.
I know personally, like, most of the people I know are super friendly.
From there?
No, from Vermont.
Oh, Vermont, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I think the first episode we ever had were a bunch of porch sitters.
Yeah, we said that. Yeah, we're a bunch of porch sitters, literally. And I mean, I guess we got to keep in mind that most of the people who we're talking to right now in the early episodes are Vermonters. Yeah. And so, I mean, yeah, you guys have probably all experienced this too. As long as if you open the door for somebody and they say thank you, and you say like, oh, like,
yeah,
how are you doing? They will most likely immediately open up and just shoot the shit for a minute or two while you're waiting in line.
It happen. Yeah, like, I'm good, how are you? Boom.
Yeah, boom. That's exactly it. And
that's why I don't like I don't care, but people say like, oh, living the dream.
Oh, that's definitely a downer, like, response.
My response is same. Like, I know they don't want to talk. So
right.
Same.
Right. Yeah, I hear you there. I knew somebody who was so negative, and it seemed like he always had negative, like, interactions with people outside of the house, and I just got to the point where I stopped asking him, like, how his day was.
Yep.
Yeah, because I knew.
Yeah.
It was just...
You knew, yep.
Yep, same old. Living the dream. Another day. Those are all...
Another day, yep. Yeah. Another day. Man, I say that sometimes, though.
Well, that's what I was about to say, too, is, like, when I am feeling down or, just feeling like the grind is getting to me.
Yep.
And somebody asks me how I'm doing and I respond that way, that's when I reflect like, oh, I am only doing okay right now. I could be doing way better.
Yeah.
Like, let's try to figure out a way to change this.
I know. It's crazy because I feel like you can just, if you notice, like if you stop yourself.
Like consciously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
it's like pivoting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Pivot. Who? Was
Pivot. Felly.
Felly. Okay. Yeah. Felly.
Coming up rapper.
Nice.
Yep. When someone says to like change, he hears pivot.
Pivot.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Pivot. It feels different when you say it.
Yeah. I like it.
Pivot.
Because you're continuing what you're doing, but in a different direction.
Right. Yeah. I like the idea that, so if you imagine a blank piece of paper and you put like a Sharpie, you put the Sharpie tip right on the piece of paper and you start at a dot. Well, I believe that our life it's like a drawing on that paper, but the Sharpie is never lifted.
Yeah.
So that whole like pivoting.
Oh yeah.
You're not changing. You're not picking that Sharpie up and starting a new picture because you can't. You can't stop what is in your past and what you've lived. And so, yeah, like it'll be a continual line.
Yeah.
And the thing is, once that Sharpie's lifted, that's it.
Zip.
You're in the dead book. Your name is written down.
Yeah.
Yep. The Reaper has spoken, and he has jotted your name in his giant book.
That's great.
Yeah, and that's all she wrote. Like once that Sharpie's up, man, like what did you do? Like what's on that piece of paper?
You're not undrawing anything.
No, what's on that piece of paper? Is it a big old mess? Is it something like beautiful to leave behind for all the souls still around?
Yeah. I definitely like the idea of internet because you're basically leaving behind yourself
Yeah.
a form of it.
Yeah, you really are. And it'll never be accurate,
Right.
but it'll be distinct enough for people to learn from.
Yeah.
And
Depending on who, too. Like,
right,
you
and
can make it what it is.
right, and me and you have talked about this off podcast a lot, but I foresee this being an outlet for our grandchildren. I see this being an outlet for just generations down the line.
Yeah.
Just to see what was up, you know?
Yeah.
And maybe not our podcast specifically, but just podcasts in general.
The hundreds and hundreds of them.
And I think that it's really, really important. If you think that you have a message to get out there, get it out in the way that you believe it'll be like best experienced. And our message, it's truly a long-term follow us through our life.
Right. I know, because you said we'll have 50 episodes in a year. We have 40 years of podcasting ahead of us if we want.
Yeah, exactly. And that's 52 times 40.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
It's a lot of that.
That's good. And that's all the way from episode 1 to 4,000+.
Yeah.
And you get the whole. This is a time lapse, okay? Right now we're in the middle of it, so we can't see it growing, right?
Uh-huh.
But if you pull yourself back and like look at it third person and you picture a time lapse of a plant growing,
Yeah.
that's what we are.
Yeah.
We're just in the middle of it.
We're like we're not even poking out of the soil.
No, we are.
From the
I'd say
seed?
we are. Yeah, because I think planting the seed was us talking about it and like the long trail.
Okay, good call, yeah.
And I think that as soon as we released that first episode is when we popped out of the soil.
Right out, yeah.
And now we gotta photosynthesize.
Yeah, a little bit.
We gotta water ourselves. We gotta make sure our soil's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, make sure that we're like prospering
grow
in a
some
good
leaves.
environment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's cool because that's just two people, right? We're just two people.
Yeah, we're just two people in small town America.
Yep.
Trying to make something. I want to go back real quick to where we see this in a year. You had mentioned the H1 Zoom. I don't know what it's called.
H4n.
H4n Zoom. Yeah, we're looking into buying that, and we'd mentioned it before, but the main reason is because when we first envisioned this podcast, we didn't see ourselves having like a studio, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
We saw ourselves recording solely outside and
Adventuring.
on the adventures. But that changed slightly only because we realized that with 9 to 5s, adventuring once a week, it isn't practical. It's
the adventures just wouldn't be
that's the thing.
fulfilling.
No, they wouldn't be full enough for us to have an entire hour while we're out there to record and talk about what we're doing. So that's totally fine because we'll get there. We'll get to the point where we can financially support ourselves on the podcast. And then once we have our full weeks to ourselves, and once we have enough money to do what we want, like buy a van, travel,
Drive
somewhere, hike this mountain, hike that coastline,
visit this city,
go to Canada,
Montreal,
go to Montreal, go to New York City. Once we have that, the content, the podcast, right out of the van, meeting with people that we literally just met.
Yep.
Getting to know folks.
You'll be seeing
all
video
over.
of us literally waking up and getting out.
Being
in a new place that we haven't seen, you haven't seen.
Once we're on the road, it's going to be a little bit more vlog style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like that.
I dig that.
I kind of told our little sister about that.
Oh, nice.
Like, we might become a vlog type
Yeah, I can see that.
content.
I don't ever want it to be overpowering. Like, I don't want it to be intrusive, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to feel comfortable about it, and I just want it to not feel like burdened by vlogging, because I see podcasting as like an alternative form of vlogging.
I do too, yeah.
And
it kind of, people do say that.
And if we get to the point where we are releasing 2 a week, that's amazing.
Super.
Yeah, that's a lot of our life right there, you know?
Yeah. And we're just constant talking. Like, that's a lot of information.
It is. And we foresee ourselves having the video up of us talking on the podcast. We
That's
don't
what I
know.
was gonna say. I don't picture like, hey guys, la la la, like like scripted,
Like the traditional
like
vlog.
traditional vlog. I
Yep.
picture like you're clicking on that vlog because you know what it's gonna contain,
Mm-hmm.
and like it's gonna be specific,
Right.
like a show almost.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we'll definitely figure it out. Figure out that style as we get there.
Mm-hmm. Work in progress.
Yeah, we were going to try to do some snowshoeing today, but the conditions are just bad right now for
Yeah.
it. I was going to talk about it on current events, but it really wouldn't be worth talking about because I mean, it's literally just a storm. Like we
Yeah.
might get snow tonight
Yeah.
for Christmas.
Oh.
Which people would be super happy about, but
Mhm.
it's not a guarantee.
Yeah, because it's been warm for 2 days. Not warm, but like 40.
Yeah, that's warm.
That's funny. 40.
40 is
Dude, that's it. That's what we cool things in. Like,
oh,
that's a fridge.
Yeah, yeah, that is. But it's wicked warm when you're outside, isn't it?
It is. I'd take my jacket off.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it's been warm. Snow's melting, and it's been
Mhm.
raining.
Yeah, so it wouldn't
Nighttime.
even be snowshoes because they wouldn't do anything like benefit. They
Right.
wouldn't keep us off of
It would just be
fluffy
loud.
snow. Yeah, it'd be bad. So honestly, we just decided against it. Record the podcast early. Head back to the
Yeah.
apartment after, so I can get some organizing done again.
Dude, that reminds me. We keep track of like temperature, just throughout the nation.
Yep.
And in Washington D.C. this year, like recently, it broke a record
Yep.
of being the coldest, which I guess is only -2.
-2 is their lowest.
I'm not sure. Like I may have. This isn't anything like important. It was just a quick note. But yeah, we broke records from thousands of years ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Washington D.C.
Hmm.
Because of how cold it is. That's crazy.
That is crazy. It's so weird because, like, I guess things are definitely changing, and I don't know enough scientifically to have, like, a proper opinion, I guess, on it. But, yeah, it's just weird to hear those things. Like,
Yeah.
breaking records. And, I mean, yes, I guess it does feel that way. Winters are changing. Or at least it
Yeah.
seems that way.
Well, I hear it's cool because we are just hearing what people say rather than seeing it happen, living where we are and stuff.
Right.
So, global or climate change, like it's supposed to be getting warmer, but it's super
Yeah, but
cold.
that's a myth because
Right, that's
it's
what I'm
not-
saying.
Well, I think not a myth. I'm definitely not saying global climate change is a myth. I just mean that saying warming, like global warming, it's not accurate to what's happening
Yep.
because and again, I really don't know the science behind it, but it just causes massive changes. So it's like more drastic weather. So the hot is hotter and the cold is
like,
colder.
Way back when the ice age was happening, say people were calling that global warming.
Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that makes a lot more sense along that time because, I mean, of course, like it's literally like the ice got everything
Yeah.
going down, down, down.
Mhm. I think that's wild.
The ice age?
Honestly, how we've got to where we are. The whole earth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Everything.
definitely wild. This place is crazy. It's like a kaleidoscope of life. And just this
Yeah.
like marble hurtling through space. Attached at the hip to this giant floating plasma ball. Think about the logistics of the sun. That's one of my favorite quotes from you.
Yeah. Think about dude.
Think about the logistics of the sun, he just says to me.
What were we doing that day? We were just chilling.
I don't even, yeah.
I know we weren't in mid conversation at all.
He's like, think about the logistics of the sun. You know, though, I will say that one time, me and Brandon, we just got done rolling jujitsu.
Yep.
And we never had any mats, so it was just out on his lawn. And it just put me in such like a state of mind to think about things in this way. And I was looking up at the sun, and it just sounds so stupid because it's like describing a dream to somebody they can't truly relate. But I just saw the sun for what it was at that moment. A giant ball of plasma in the sky. And when I saw it in all its glory, I felt small, but in like a comforting way. It was super weird. And like I said, it's like a dream. You can't really describe it because it's the feeling that you got. It's not just like the visuals. And yeah, the feeling I got was just like super peaceful. I was like, wow.
Really?
Yeah, we're just orbiting this giant ball of plasma in the sky. It's wild.
When I hear stuff like that, I think of like it relates with time too. Like, time doesn't exist when I think of like, I'm thinking of Earth in a third person way. Kinda, you know? And then I'm thinking like, it's always, the sun is always, we're always going around it. And we tell time by light in the sun.
Right.
So like, that erases time for me.
So you're saying like, if you relate time, quote unquote, to a day-night cycle, there's no such thing as a day-night cycle if you're just outside of Earth.
Yeah.
And there's no shadows cast. It's just continuous. Yeah, I see what you're saying there. One thing that trips me out is that I've heard a scientist on a podcast say that it's quite possible that earlier on in the solar system or earlier on in the galaxy, physics were different. Yeah. And so us trying to model earlier versions of the universe is impossible because we don't know what the physics were at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, these are wild thoughts, but I think that this is wicked wild. Just keep that in mind.
Okay.
But think about there's 7 billion plus people on Earth right now, right? We all weigh a certain weight, right?
Yep.
That definitely has to add a factor to what's happening on Earth, I feel like.
No, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because I forgot what law it is. I think it's like Newton's law. It's like I forgot who did it, but it's like the conservation of energy. So if you take, let's just do a smaller example, like a clay pot full of soil, and if you plant a watermelon in that clay pot, so the clay pot with soil weighs a certain amount, and then you put the seed in, and it weighs a little bit more.
Yeah.
But let's count that as 0 now. So the seed is in the soil, in the clay pot at 0, so it all weighs a certain amount. When that watermelon grows, and it's a big watermelon, and let's say you weighed the water too, everything that's going to go into this is weighed. It will change its shape, as in it used to be soil and it used to be a seed, but now it's an actual watermelon, but the actual weight of everything stays the same because you can't create or destroy energy in the universe. It's a law. So anything, you can transfer energy in, like light can become heat can become light, and that's like a transference of energy, but it's always like equal. It's always the same. So as far as like humans on Earth, the more humans that pop up, the Earth doesn't weigh a single ounce more because humans are just food. Yeah. When a mother is, this is super trippy, so get ready everybody. Okay. When a mother is freshly pregnant and there is a fetus in her belly, everything that she eats becomes a human being. Everything that she eats. So, yeah, if you think that turning soil into a watermelon is trippy, think about turning a banana into a child, a conscious thinking, thriving being.
So the weight was already...
Yeah, it was already factored in to Earth.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you busted that.
Yeah.
No, that definitely did clarify it, though, because like I legitimately thought 100 pounds per person times 7 billion. How is that not affecting anything?
Right.
Right.
We're pulling up on the 50+ minute mark if we want to do a couple of our current events.
Yeah.
Because I only have one.
I have one related.
Okay.
And then I have one that kind of is just wicked interesting.
Okay. Let's do the one that's related first, and then I'll do mine, and then the last one.
Yeah. So, again in Massachusetts, I'm pretty sure, or actually this is in Vermont, Barton, Vermont.
Okay.
There was a Christmas tree farm, and this was a couple days ago, but there was the gate on the lock, the lot on the gate. There's only one entrance, so they had to cut this lock on the gate.
So this is people stealing.
Yeah. So real quick, 2 people went to this Christmas tree farm, and this is Christmas trees that have been trimmed for a couple of years. They're tall.
Oh, right. Yeah, like work is put into these.
I'm talking $300 Christmas trees.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there was $1,000 plus stolen.
Wow.
So like cut down, dragged.
Wow.
Like, it was done. The article I read, they didn't give like a lot of information, but they gave like opinions, I guess. So it was done horrible.
Oh.
Like two people that didn't know that they were doing, but they stole $1,000+ worth of Christmas trees, man.
It reminds me of the characters from Home Alone that were breaking into the house.
That's what I was gonna.
Yeah, it reminds me of just how bad they are, like what they're actually doing.
Yeah.
That sucks, especially because those Christmas tree farms. I mean, I used to drive by some on the way to Randolph on the interstate, and I would watch them.
Oh yeah.
Super duper tiny, ankle sized. And then year after year,
you see them grow.
Yeah, see them grow and get bigger. And I don't even think they've hit the point where they can be trimmed or cut down yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're still growing.
Yeah, because it takes a while.
It does.
It's
take
just
a
a
long
family.
time.
Like I feel like for Christmas tree farms.
Right. Yeah, they are just families.
Yeah, with land.
We knew one. I mean, we still do know some. Good friends of the family, and they own a Christmas tree farm.
Yeah.
That's how they get their trees every year.
I know that must be nice.
Yeah, just having it
just
on
go
your
in
own.
your backyard.
Big Eddie tried to do it.
Really?
Yeah, but they died.
And it takes a while.
They turned brown.
Yeah.
Or his did. Mine is super short just because there's not many details to talk about within it. But the big Rockefeller tree in New York City that's lit every year.
Yeah.
The big one. Massive tree.
That's what I thought of reading this.
Oh, yeah. This massive tree. They take it from all over or different places every year, I believe. And one year it was from Vermont.
Nice.
If it's the same tree that I'm thinking of. But this article was talking about what happens to it after Christmas. And they actually just process it into boards and use it to build a house or like part of a house.
Really?
Yeah. And the one family that this article covered, they knew that the house was going to be built with it or something. And so when they were like walking up to see the tree, they just had this like crazy experience of like seeing like,
wow.
Yeah, that was going to go in their house.
That's actually wicked cool.
Yeah, that is wicked cool. It reminds me of like eventually what we want to do is build a cabin with trees from our own land and
Vermont land
and walk along the path and be like, yeah, like I want that tree.
Oh yeah.
As like the centerpiece or something.
Yeah, there's a campground.
Yep.
Not too far from here, and they build tree houses.
Oh, word.
Not like you would think. Word. I'm talking houses built with trees sustaining it.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds awesome.
Super,
like stilt
super
houses.
Awesome. Yeah.
That's what I picture.
Yep.
It's like basically like.
Yeah, like they'll build a platform and like a triangle platform
between trees.
Like you would set up a tent.
Yep.
A triangle tent.
And then you.
But yeah, then you just build up.
Start building a house on it.
The two corners are the trees. Like.
Oh, you see them in the house. That's
like
cool.
It's in and out.
Well, there was that Mom used to watch all the time. Mom loved these types of shows on Animal Planet or the Travel Channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this one was like the Treehouse Builder. It was like this guy who just built tree houses. Yeah, it was an amazing show. Really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. What's the last one that you got?
Oh yeah, dude. This fits with the channels.
Okay.
This is funny. If you're flicking through the Discovery Channel, like we were just talking about, if you went one down, the Nickelodeon channel, SpongeBob.
It would be one up, but yeah.
One up.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
48 was, or no, it was 47 was Discovery, 48 was Animal Planet, and 49 was Nickelodeon. 50 was Cartoon Network. 51 is ABC.
I love that.
52 is ABC Family.
That's so funny.
Yeah, that is funny. I'm just.
My childhood never got to hold the remote.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah,
it was always controlled.
I mean, I didn't watch TV unless it was with him.
Yeah,
my dad, and he was just I guess he just took it, turned it on.
Yeah, I had my own TV.
I was never the type of guy to like. I don't think I would reach for it.
No,
like I'm not. You know what I mean?
No,
I don't know.
I'm the type of person to see what they're watching, not like it, find my own TV, find my own cord, bring it to my room,
Yeah.
and just chill out.
Yeah. I just watch what it's on. Still to this day.
Yep.
TV
is definitely phasing out, or at least general
Yeah.
cable. But what were you saying about it? No, content is up.
Yeah, so Nickelodeon, the dude that wrote SpongeBob, I'm an idiot for not taking his name. I did not get his name, but he died recently. Just it's not natural, but ALS. So
ALS. I've heard that. Is that what the ice bucket challenge was for?
Yeah.
Yep. ALS.
He died from that though.
Gnarly.
Which I'm not too like frequented on ALS, but I think they know it's coming.
Oh,
you know?
okay.
I'm not sure, but he could probably definitely tell.
Yeah,
he was 57.
SpongeBob, man.
Yeah,
that was a good show. I used to watch that as a kid. It got more annoying as I got older.
Yeah, you're more aware.
Yeah, you're just more aware, and you just get sick of it. But I will say that, I mean, if you grew up in my era, you definitely watched SpongeBob.
Definitely.
Like,
The movie.
Yeah. I'm a goofy goober.
Yeah, the movie was definitely killer, honestly.
Yeah, the movie was.
Yeah.
It was an adventure.
Oh, yeah.
It was like
wild adventure.
crossing the trench.
Yep.
You have to go down into it.
It gave you like a perception of ocean.
Yeah, it really did, actually. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Like, yeah, you actually get like an idea of
Actually,
David Hasselhoff in that movie.
Yeah, really, slow motion.
Slow motion, like a dolphin.
Nickelodeon actually wrote the article, I think.
Oh, they did.
They added stuff to it, but they said that he was like one of the most loved.
Oh, that's
like,
cool.
And creative. And and Bikini Bottom was his way of telling like them, not us as viewers, but like his coworkers.
Yep.
That imagination. Like, that was just his way of explaining imagination.
That's cool.
And how possible it is.
Well, R.I.P. You're a good one. I think that's a good place to leave it off. Give everybody a hug this Christmas, you know? Nobody knows how long they have left. That's
2 arms.
Yeah, 2 arms, you know? 4 if you got them, but we won't judge if you don't. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas. Have a good New Year.
Yeah. Peace.
Peace out.
Gotta take a piss for the last 10 minutes. We hope you enjoyed that episode. Christmas themed. Ho ho ho. Ha ha ha.
We're keeping it.
Well, this outro is meant to remind you, if you'd like to support the podcast, you could like it, rate it. I don't know if liking it works, but hey, I said it anyway. You could rate it on whatever program you get, preferably a 5-star. You could comment, let us know what you think, or email us. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, let us know your Christmas traditions. We'd like to hear from you, the whole 9. Yeah, check out our website, and I think that's it. Once again, Merry Christmas. Have a great time. Hug family members. Let them know you love them. We're not here forever, everyone. Carpe diem. Peace.